Mr. Hillier, are you ready for your plea?
We are ready, Your Honor.
All right. Julia Solis? Yes, I see you there. Okay. Ms. Patty, you do have the papers to put on?
Yes, sir. I'm locating them right now.
Okay, let me know if you got them. Then I'll ask Ms. Rivera to be on the lookout. Bolo.
Caitlin,
Yes, ma'am.
you said you sent them?
Yes, ma'am. I sent the Julia Solis one at 8:57 this morning.
Got it. Okay, Judge.
All right. At this time, the court calls case number 657036, State versus Julia Raquel Solis. State ready?
Yes, Your Honor. State's ready.
Defense ready?
Good morning, Your Honor. Gary Hillier for Ms. Solis, and we're ready, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Solis, would you please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ms. Solis, in order to conduct this plea, I need first talk to you about 5 very critical and important constitutional rights and protections. The first one is that you have a constitutional right and protection to remain silent. That means you don't have to say anything, any kind of statement. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to submit paperwork that has your signature, especially papers that admit or confess to wrongdoing. Do you understand you have the right to remain silent?
Yes.
You have the right to a jury trial. That would be 6 people selected at random from a pool of jurors selected with you and your attorney and with the state's attorneys. They would hear the evidence and then decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. You understand that that's the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
All right. With that right to a jury trial, you'd have the right also to confront witnesses. That's big words, but what they mean is you and your attorney would have the right to question, cross-examine, or challenge any witness who would testify if you went to trial. You understand you have the right to confront witnesses.
Yes, sir.
You also have a right that's called the right to appeal. That right is exercised by you yourself or by your attorney himself or the two of you, demanding that a higher court review the official record and the evidence and the results of this hearing or this case. That involves access to the official record which is being prepared by our court reporter, Ms. Rivera. You understand you have a right to appeal.
Yes.
Now, that right to appeal, by the way, you'd have to use the right forms and the right time limits that are involved. Now, you also have a right, and by the way, you and the state, each one of you individually have the right to have this public hearing in the open public courtroom for County Court of Law number 5. Because of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, we're not doing hearings in the public courtroom. We're doing them by video conference, but you do have the right to demand that this be done in actual open courtroom. Now, the state has that same right too, so both of you have the right to a public hearing. Do you understand you have that right?
Yes.
And I do inform you that this video conference that we're handling, that is being shown on YouTube, and anyone and everyone in the public who wants to can tune in and listen and watch. Now, in order for you to, as part of the plea that you have announced, or that has been announced, you give up these particular rights that I just mentioned. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, now, another thing that needs to be clear to you is just being placed on YouTube, but that doesn't mean that you have to give up any of your rights, okay? We're going to be showing these to you in writing. There'll be a stack or a bunch of documents that will repeat quite a few of these 5 rights that we just talked about. Right now, we're going to show you the first document, but let me point out to you, if you look on your screen, the first thing you see at the top is what I call identifying information. It has, first of all, cause number, which is the number of your particular case. This one says CC 657036. The state of Texas versus Julia Raquel Solis in County Court of Law number 5, Bexar County, Texas. Now, that's the identifying information that you'll see repeated on almost all of the documents, with one exception perhaps. Then the title of the particular paper is next. This one says State's Consent to Video Conference. This one is signed by Ms. Caitlin Morgan, who's the Assistant District Attorney that signed in behalf of the state. That document says that they are giving up the right to demand that this be placed in the open public courtroom. Did you see this document?
Yes.
Did you understand what they're saying?
Yes.
The second document is before you now. Again, the identifying information. And then below that, this particular document is called Discovery Acknowledgement. There is a law. If you look at the very first line below that, it says pursuant to Article 39.14 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. You're not going to have to pass a test or nothing, but that is the law that specifically orders the prosecutors, the state's attorneys, to share with you and your attorney the information, documents, receipts, videos, everything that's involved, all the evidence that's involved in this case, so that you and your attorney can make a informed, that means that you know what's going on, and you can make a good, intelligent decision. That one is signed by the state, that's signed by the state and by your attorney. They're saying that that law has been obeyed. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. The next document is your document. When it comes back on, you'll notice that it's got again, the identifying information. And then this one is your document where you say, okay, I agree to waive or give up the right to have this matter heard in open public courtroom. It'll show your signature and your attorney. It's there somewhere. I think Ms. Garcia is hiding it from us. I don't see it, Patricia.
Judge, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do hear you. Do you hear me? Patricia, do you hear me? Ms. Solis, do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I always laugh at the computers because they always find a way to screw things up for you.
I know.
Patricia, I do not, it appears you don't hear me, but everybody else does. You give up the Mickey Mouse Club? Patricia. Mr. Hillier will have to exercise a little bit of patience here.
No problem, Your Honor. I can hear you.
Okay, Ms. Rivera, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Solis, the document you're supposed to be seeing right now is the one where you signed saying that you're giving up the right to demand this be done in the public courtroom. Did you review such a document?
Yes.
You and your attorney,
Yes.
and you have signed it.
Yes.
All right. The next document that'll be part of this record is a document that talks about the constitutional rights and protections and the admonitions from this court. Again, we're lawyers. We like to use big words. Admonition means that I am informing you and advising you of all these different constitutional rights and protections. This particular document starts off again with the identifying information. It starts off with 3 sentences.
Judge, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, ma'am.
I can't hear y'all now.
Well, I think we can still hear each other. Mr. Hillier, can you hear me?
I can still hear you, Judge.
Okay, we can hear each other, Patty. We've got a technical glitch on your side of the computers.
How about now?
I can hear you, yes.
No,
Can you-
I can't